Now, I hear organizations, and one of the things they often say is that these skills of empathy and integrity, we see them in certain individuals, but they are incredibly hard to scale. They are incredibly hard to make them a part of our culture because they are really down to the individual. And I disagree with that, because when you go into companies and cultures where you can feel integrity and empathy as part of the DNA, you see it everywhere. So I'm going to finish with a story, and I think it's an amazing story of these traits of integrity and empathy. And it's with this company that I think many of you, who's flown Southwest Airlines? Many of you. Okay, so there's something special about Southwest Airlines. Now, this happened a few years ago, and it sounds like actually it is a sad story, but what happened was this man, this grandfather, he was living in Los Angeles, and his daughter was living in Austin, Texas. And he received the phone call none of us want to receive. He received the phone call that his grandchild, his 4-year-old grandchild boy, had been involved in a car accident, and he was on life support. And it was his daughter who was phoning her to say, "Dad, I really need you to get here to be with me because we have to turn the life support off tomorrow." Now, he put everything down at home, of course. His wife got on the phone, and any of you who've tried to get to LAX will know that sometimes the traffic really works against you. So he arrives at the airport, he's incredibly late, and there is a massive line in security. He goes up to the people in security, and he says, "I'm really sorry, I have to get home for a family emergency. It really is a family emergency. Please, can I come to the front of the line?" And the people say, "No, we're late too." He goes up to the people in security, and he says, "Please, can I come to the front of the line?" And they tell him to go to the back of the queue. He finally makes it through security. He doesn't even bother to put his shoes on. He grabs his bag, he looks at the clock, and he looks at the gate. And the gate is the furthest gate from the security station. And so he's running through the airport, and he knows that he's missed that plane. He gets to the gate, it says, "Gate closed." And the tears start coming down his face. And then up the ramp comes the pilot. Now, while he's waiting in security, he's called his wife, and his wife have called Southwest Airlines, and Southwest Airlines have got through to that pilot and told them what's happened. And the pilot, on his own, has made the decision to hold the plane. He held that plane for 12 minutes, which may not sound long, but is actually a very long time when you think about budget airlines and how fast they have to turn around. He comes up to the man, and he looks into his eyes, and he said, "I heard what happened to you. I'm incredibly sorry. This plane is not going anywhere without me, and I'm not going anywhere without you." It's an amazing story, right? Now, this story really gets inside of me, and the amazing thing is, when I ask people about this story, like leaders at Southwest, they're not particularly impressed by it, because their culture, this is what they would expect. That pilot wouldn't need to ask permission. And I ask you, how many of you are working in environments where you feel that kind of permission to display that kind of integrity and empathy? So what I want to leave you with today is this idea that who we choose to trust, how we choose to be in terms of being trustworthy, are two things very much inside of our control. I know it seems like a crazy world where the media all the time are talking about trust being in crisis and that we can't trust anyone. But this isn't true. This is a decision that we can own. We can decide, is this person worthy of our trust? We can decide, are we being the most trustworthy? And each time we go through these questions, each time we go through this process, in our own small way, we are taking care of what I think is society's most precious and fragile asset, which is trust. Thank you very much.